Okay, double checking this is actually live. There we go. Oh, welcome to Fireside Chat number 285. Number one, we finally have brought back duchies, aka minor houses. That's kind of my fault. It's long overdue. We were kind of discussing it a lot in the Council of Houses for quite a long time, and pretty strong support for bringing them back, but it's kind of been on the to-do list for a while. So they are officially back now. You can find more details in announcements, but essentially what they are is an intermediate step between a family and a house. So essentially it's an opportunity for a group of families or one large family to sort of upgrade in that way, but also and have that achievement or that goal and not necessarily have to have that mean that they're leaving their own house behind and making a new house. And it's also a little bit easier to achieve than making your own house. You can check announcements in the link there. I have the requirements, 15 members, 3 of rank gunner or higher. Future Duke or Duchess must be rank CPO or higher, and you need at least 2 people who have been officers at any point after March 2018. As a reminder, officers does not have to be COs, commissioned officers, which is warrant officer or higher. It can be anyone of rank Chief Petty Officer or higher, and that can include that person who is the founder of the house. So I would say not crazy requirements, definitely doable. I think the main thing is having 15 active people. If you have 15 active people, you probably have 2 people that are at Chief Petty Officer. So those are a thing now. And another one, we're getting to the end of the month here, so situation reports and roll call will be due. A few situation reports have come in already. As a reminder, I just sent out a ping with this, but check the pins in the situation reports channel. The template, the format for the reports has changed. It's very similar, but the main difference, I've talked about this before, but the main difference is because platoon leaders can just promote people, you don't need to put recommended promotions. You can just promote people and then list who you promoted. And as a reminder, you can promote people at any point. You don't have to just wait till the end of the month and do it then. We usually encourage, because part of the reason for having a platoon leaders in charge of relatively small numbers of people is that you should be able to keep better track of those individuals, meaning that you can actually check on them more than once a month, and potentially promote them more often than that at some of those lower ranks where they should be potentially meeting some of those requirements. So just a reminder, yeah, you want promotions and not recommended promotions, and you would then list anybody you promoted, and you should be doing roster review at the same time as your situation report so that you can list anyone you promote in your review on your report. So that's really what you should be doing. I know the couple sit reps that came in recently, I think the Silva asked for those to come in early. So I don't know what the situation is there, but normally if you're writing the report, you should be doing the roster review at the same time as you write the report, or before you write the report. And make sure when you do the review, you write it in the log channel on the roster so that we know you did the review. Just put your name and the date. But all that will be coming up due on the 1st, obviously. Situation reports due. And of course, if anyone has any questions, I mean, you can ask me, but you can also talk to your division leader or just post in the command center chat. We'll be happy to help. Yes, we did the platoon certification, but I think a couple people did not finish that. And people may have forgotten or just need a refresher. That's fine. Just ask if you have any questions. And finally, I want to talk a little bit about the distinction between a rough platoon and a platoon. So the main thing that will matter is a rough platoon has a rank cap. So nobody in a rough platoon can exceed the rank of Master Chief Petty Officer. The exception being that if somebody leading that rough platoon has already achieved that rank outside of it. So as an example, Kusiag is leading the Metal Marauders. They are a rough platoon. Obviously, Kusiag is higher than the rank of Master Chief Petty Officer. So we have those particular cases, but generally speaking, that limit is in place primarily to encourage people to build up the rough platoon into a platoon. So in order to do that, the criteria, it's not extremely difficult, but you need to have a roster of 5 people, and that could include you as the leader, and you need to have your events attended by four people, so 4 people total at the event, including you, on 4 separate occasions. It doesn't have to be 4 in a row. It can just be 4 over 2 months or 3 months or whatever. So those are the 2 criteria. So one of those is the old criteria. It's the same with the addition of you need 5 people on the roster of your platoon. So it's not a crazy requirement, but it sort of helps us differentiate between our kind of stronghold games and sort of new burgeoning ones that we don't really know how long they're going to survive. They wouldn't necessarily have a super active presence on there. May very well have people attending your events. And that's why part of the requirements are reflected in that, just event attendance. Even people who are not in your platoon attending it are actually helping you. But you do need 5 people on the roster, because it just doesn't make sense to run a full-fledged platoon without anyone actually on its roster except the leader. So that's the main difference. If you upgrade to platoon, then your maximum rank becomes lieutenant, and technically higher, but the thing is, to get to commander, you actually have to be in charge of a division. The exceptions to these rules would be all from Ulfwald as Rear Admiral, that he can make exceptions for people who have particular extra assignments or something that he has given them, or that somebody has given them with his approval. You can circumvent these maximum rank requirements, but generally speaking, that's not going to be a thing that happens. Generally, those maximum rank limits for rough platoons and platoons are pretty strict. But that's about does it. So I will go ahead and be around for my office hours shortly.